if the rumors were true, we were supposed to get Punk winning at EC and challenging Rollins and having Roman against Cody 2 at WrestleMania 40, then by all means, that would have worked out. But unfortunately, the injury to Punk kind of derailed plans. So this is kind of a panic mode for WWE right now. Listen, I've been following stuff, pro wrestling, since the late 80s, early 90s. I'm showing my age as well with everybody too. But with storylines, when you've got injuries, you got to figure out where you go with that when you have plans with it. We saw it with Triple H when he got hurt and tore his quad and didn't come back till 2002. Obviously they had to change plans because they had other plans for him and Steve Austin and all that stuff. So you kind of think what could have been with that storyline had Triple H not torn his quad. Same thing with Punk. Had Punk not tore his arm at Royal Rumble with something bad like the Future Shock, then you could have been like, all right, we're still pressing forward. But now they're in a panic mode. And I've mentioned you guys in our group chat, and I recommend everybody watch it. There's the video for Busted Open, one of my favorite talk shows about pro wrestling with Dave LaGreca, Bully Ray, and Mark Henry. And Bully Ray actually laid out the plan of how WWE saves this. And he brought up one location and one location only, Madison Square Garden. That is where Cody Rhodes' father lost by countout and didn't win the belt, but was holding it. That's where that famous picture was taken of Dusty Rhodes holding that title. So there's talks that the biggest plan, now we might not even see this go forward. We might see something sooner. But the plan that Bully Ray basically laid out is that's where Cody finishes his story with Roman Reigns, is at Madison Square Garden. So it's going to be an interesting, again, I'm not happy because I'm the biggest Cody Rhodes mark outside of David LaGreca. And I really, really want to see Cody win that title. As much as I'd like to see, as much as I'd be okay with him going against Seth Rollins, we've already seen that. And it's already been buried, that World Heavyweight title, and Seth Rollins was buried by Roman Reigns and WWE in general. And then my last bit here before we move on, my take on Dwayne Johnson. Sorry, that's Dwayne Johnson. That is no longer The Rock. The Rock was buried 10 years ago, 11 years ago after WrestleMania 29 against John Cena. There's no more The Rock. It's Dwayne Johnson. So him coming in not only as a TKO board member, using his power to kind of overstep this, and I know there's stories saying, oh, well, he didn't. This was TKO's idea. No, Dwayne had to have a little bit input on it as well. So in general, it sucks. It's a bad situation for everybody. And honestly, I do hope WWE corrects course and does something about it, because a lot of fans do want to see Cody Rhodes be the top guy for that WWE title and not the World Heavyweight title. So that's my take on it.
What do you think about them saying that this was their plan all along as part of like a manufactured yes movement? Are you buying into that? There's a lot of discourse right now about that and whether that holds any water or not. What do you think?
My take on that is, for that, yes, I kind of see that they want something, they're taking advantage of it. Because they didn't, I'm telling you right now, I don't know if it was planned, because it was so natural when it came out Friday night going into Saturday morning of the hashtag We Want Cody, that over the weekend, I guarantee you WWE, TKO, and The Rock go, dude, we can do something with this. We can market this as the next yes movement.
Yeah. Because
again, Rock is supportive of Cody.
That's
and
what
it's
people
just
have
a
been
bad
saying,
situation of what's going on. Of there's half the fan base is the ones that want Rock and Roman because they might not see it again. Yeah. But there's that big fan base that's behind Cody saying, dude, this guy worked his ass off. And if this is the new Cody, yes, we want Cody movement, I don't know how I feel about how they're moving that forward, because for me, I like the organic. I like the natural. That was the yes movement for Daniel Bryanson. It was natural. It was the fans taking over saying, this is the guy we want to see.
Same as with Kofi.
Same with Kofi. Kofi Mania. Yep. It's natural. I don't like the fact that if it is brought up that, hey, this was actually the plan, this was marketing idea of the whole We Want Cody movement, you did it in the worst way possible.
I find it interesting.
Did not expect that backlash.
Yeah, I find it interesting how people are reacting to it. They're like happy that it's manufactured, but I'm like, that would be bad, right? Now, it has come out that the signs apparently were not planted. For a while there, the story was the signs were being handed out by WWE officials, but now they're confirming with timestamps that those signs were not being handed out by WWE officials. Maybe that's more spin. I don't know. Like a different news report, a different contradictory news report seems to come out every minute on this thing, which is why I wanted to kind of get some of this out here to try to clear up what has happened and what has transpired since the Royal Rumble. And CM Punk being injured, right, has definitely thrown a huge wrench into whatever it was they were originally doing. But I think one thing's clear, and I think you hit the nail on the head, or Bully Ray did really, talking about where the story needs to end. Madison Square Garden. That makes a lot of sense. I don't believe in my heart of hearts, and I've said this the last time we were together. Cody's never winning that belt. Roman's not losing at this WrestleMania, no matter what you think is happening or what you think might have been planned. It was never the plan for Roman Reigns to lose. So he may as well beat The Rock or Dwayne Johnson or all of them at once. It doesn't matter. Bring Punk out and in a stretcher and just have him pin him. Who cares at this point? Roman wins.
I think that WWE has been booking and planning all of this without a clear picture of what pieces they've got going into WrestleMania. Going even back to Survivor Series, we may have Punk, right? We may have MJF when his contract is up. We don't know who we have. We may have injuries. We may have this. We may have this. And the pattern that I'm seeing is that they are kind of in this holding pattern. Let us not commit to anything until we absolutely have to. That's how I see it. The one huge mistake I think that they may have made, okay, and I'm still going with this, is for Cody to say, but not at WrestleMania. Those words were terrible, I think, okay? However, I think they're leaning into this "we want Cody" thing. Let's see how it goes. We've got lots of options. We've got Brian Gewirtz, who is one of the smartest, most creative guys there is in the universe. And I have a way that this can work. I have a way, if you want to hear it. Okay? Night one of WrestleMania. We have Cody, Seth, and Drew McIntyre in a triple threat. Cody loses. Okay? Or he doesn't win. Let's put it that way. He's dejected. Day two, he's sitting down. We see a backstage vignette. We talked about backstage vignettes. Him and R-Truth, right? R-Truth talking about, man, this thing with the Judgment Day, it's not going the way that I thought. They're not accepting me. This kind of thing. And Cody's like, yeah, man, I know exactly what you mean, and this and that. And they kind of commiserate with him. R-Truth does his thing, and he says, okay, Cody, I'll talk to you later. I got to go sell some shirts. Goes to the Judgment Day room. As Judgment Day is preparing to go out for their tag team match, Damian Priest is like, Truth, we're busy. Just, make yourself at home. Do whatever you want. Okay? And Truth is like, okay, picked up the shirts. But then he's like, oh, that's interesting. Picks up something else. And later on, you see him at a concession stand. He's selling shirts. Like, Cody, I got something special for you, bro. With the wink that he does. And at the end, we have the Rock Roman match, which goes as you would expect, every Roman match in the world, right? Solo comes in, interferes, beats up the Rock, whatever. Roman wins. He's standing there. It's like, oh my God, this is so horrible. And then you hear Kingdom start up. And Cody's out there with Damian Priest's briefcase. Right?
I mean...
And then they have a match. Rock's been beaten up by Solo, but after 5 or 10 minutes, he gets up, he takes out Solo, and said, Cody, I was wrong. Finish the story.
That's a beautiful tale, but wouldn't it be so much simpler if Roman just reigns and Roman Reigns wins and all the children cry? I find that more believable, honestly. I just find it more believable that Roman Reigns wins and all the children cry. I mean, that's...
But what makes more money?
I don't. At the end of the day, all right, look. That's another. I'm glad you brought it up because that's another thing people keep saying is, well, it's got to be Rock versus Roman because of the money, because of the money, because of the money. How much fucking money does the WWE need? And can't we just get the goddamn end of the story already?
I don't disagree with you. They should have had it at WrestleMania 39, and then we wouldn't be in this mess. I don't disagree with you one bit.
I just don't get the money thing. When you got more money than God, when you're the number one guy.
It's the shareholders. There's not enough money in this world for the shareholders.
What the hell? Why is it the money?
Siren, do you want to jump in?
Go ahead.
I think it's really funny that you say it's about money. Anybody would say that it's about money because at the end of the day, when they put Rock in that position, yeah, it may make more money for WrestleMania, may draw eyes for 1 or 2 days, but you just pissed off your entire fan base that purchases all your merch, that goes to all your fucking all your shows all the time. Like The Rock literally, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, I feel like the whole situation, Cody Rhodes himself. I'm in a position of power, so I'm going to put myself into a position where I can win. And the people hated it.
And it sure looks that way, right? And what if The Rock turns face at WrestleMania and says, I was wrong?
I mean,
I'm
that would
sorry.
be really
Finish
cool.
the
The
story.
point is, I just don't think that would. It would be neato. But I've already said my opinions on this whole thing, and the last thing that I'm gonna say on it is that if you have not watched the press conference, like the media scrum from after the Royal Rumble, do not do it. Do not do it. It hurts. It's painful. It's literally like you're like, oh cool, oh look, it's Bailey. Oh look at you go Bailey, and then all of a sudden they announce Cody, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Because you know what's coming. He's all psyched, and it's brutal.
They can still salvage it. I think they can still salvage it.
He's like, my fans are vindicated. After tonight, all my fans are vindicated. And then he goes out the next day, and he's like, yeah, never mind.
Well, I got the sense at the press conference, I don't know if you picked this up, but he was like, and Triple H kind of backed him up on it or jumped on the same point where, like, it's going to happen. I'm the guy, but maybe not right now. And, Paul Levesque comes out and kind of says, like, hey, absolutely, we stand by Cody, but, like, later. Like, not at WrestleMania, guys. Like, calm down. Like, I really felt like they were setting expectations at that media scrum or whatever you want to call it.
Rumor has it that this whole thing was actually over Triple H, too. This whole decision was over Triple H's head. And rumor backstage is, again, Amer says in the chats, we shouldn't go off dirt sheets. We shouldn't believe dirt sheets. But there are things coming out backstage saying that, like Triple H and creative were kind of disheveled about it because, again, you couldn't have predicted CM Punk's injury at the Rumble. So that press conference does kind of make sense. But the next day when you find out Punk is hurt, then that's when WWE goes into this panic mode. Yeah. And that's when the heads and Dwayne Johnson kind of overstepped creative and said, no, we need to do this just so we can both A, save WrestleMania, make money, but B, you also have to remember, this is coming a week during the Vince McMahon scandal. Yeah. Yes. They are trying to deter eyes away from that and more so on the product. But now you're just alienating your own fan base by, hey, ignore that. Look, we got Dwayne Johnson to bring back your childhood memories. It's like, dude, I don't give a shit about a 53-year-old washed-up wrestler who lives in Hollywood now making billions of dollars going on Oprah Winfrey, coming into the ring and ruining a product that I put my money in. I've supported you these last couple of years, this last decade after Rock left, these new superstars. You have a plethora of a locker room. I talk about this. I'm about to go on a rant here and then I'm done. I talked about this on AEW. AEW's roster, stacked. WWE's roster, stacked. Why are we not using these wrestlers properly? Why are we not pushing these stars? Why do we have to go back to this nostalgia that most wrestling promotions do now? They go back and they bring in these old-timey wrestlers who, some of them, they can't even go in the ring anymore. If you watch that match with John Cena, even in 2013, Rock was gassed. He was gassed, and then he was injured. It's bad. In doing that segment with Jinder Mahal, he was gassed walking to the ring. Sorry, age does catch up with you, and as fans, we love the nostalgia, but we don't want it in our wrestling ring if it means making you money. I'm sorry, as a wrestling fan, I want to see new stars build. I want to see roster being utilized. I'd rather see someone like a Gunther, Walter go against a Seth Rollins, or someone like Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn going against Seth Rollins, and maybe a triple threat match. That's my plan. You've got a roster of guys that are main event guys that you could push in there, yet you bring back a washed up Hollywood guy whose movies bomb, and basically put him on the board, and now he can do whatever the hell he wants. That's my rant on it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you said it too, because this reminds me in a favorable way of what Cody was doing back in AEW. Cody was wrestling everybody, and it's really annoying that he comes to the WWE and he's wrestled like 3 people total. Like that, he just keeps rematching. And I literally rather see him against anybody. I don't want to see him against Roman or Seth at WrestleMania. I mean, the match we wanted would be Cody versus Punk, but that's not happening. So I don't know what the hell we're gonna get.
Stop what you're doing, baby, and follow Mr. Hargrave from parts unknown, if you will, baby.
I've seen the demon's face.
Mark Twain, one half of private party, say what up to the grave diggers, and keep doing your thing.
On my knees in praise of the horrible things that took her away.
Watch another video or be cursed.